We're going to continue our tradition of having lunch with a summer associate. Today I'm having lunch with the 2021 OSP associate, Bryan Dasrath. Bryan, will you do me a favor and introduce yourself to our audience?
Happy to, thank you, Jerry. My name is Bryan Dasrath and I'm a summer associate here at O'Brien Staley Partners. I've been working with Corey Johnson to underwrite several new investment opportunities ranging from hotel loan portfolios to municipal opportunities, but I've also been involved with portfolio management. I've been working with Hugh Cameron on our taxi loan portfolio and Bill Minsberg on our commercial real estate side of the business.
Good. Share with people where you were before OSP.
Prior to joining OSP this summer, I had just wrapped up my first year of business school at Warren. I'm going back for my second year after the internship is over. I'm majoring in quantitative finance and I'm also an officer of the PEVC Club as well as the Warren Rugby Football Club.
Oh, I forgot about that rugby. How's the rugby team looking this year?
We're actually the #1 ranked NBA rugby team in North America.
Oh, that's pretty impressive. Good. That's pretty impressive. What did you do before grad school?
Prior to grad school, I was working in private equity at Northern Pacific Group and in investment banking at Piper Sandler in their medical technology group. I'm also from the area. I earned my undergraduate degree at the University of Minnesota, Carlson School of Management.
So I think you and I first met when I gave that fireside chat at Wharton. On the basis of the fireside chat and whatever you learned about our firm there or on the research you did, I'm curious, now that you've been a summer associate, what was counterintuitive or different than your expectations coming in about the firm or the position?
Yeah, coming from private equity, there were some similarities with regards to the investment process.
Yeah.
However, credit evaluation deals with making decisions with imperfect information.
Yeah.
Most of the time, you're not going to have a quality of earnings or projected financials, which is why we place an emphasis on 5 categories.
Yeah.
Capital, assets, management, earnings, or liquidity.
Right, CAMEL.
CAMEL, as the firm likes to coin it.
Yeah.
And with that framework, we're able to appropriately price a loan and figure out how we're going to exit under different circumstances.
I think you picked up something profound there. That is exactly what we're doing here, and I'm glad you picked that up. Related question. I'm curious what was consistent with your expectations about the firm or the position when you joined.
Yeah, definitely. During the interview process, I could tell how engaged each of the investment professionals were with their portfolios. The MDs are seasoned investors with 20 plus years of experience, and they're involved from sourcing to harvesting an investment. Inevitably, that builds a culture of accountability. So it's not surprising to see individuals at the firm wearing several different hats.
Yeah.
The MDs are involved with building a model and reading legal docs, so they're right in the thick of everything.
Yeah, absolutely. We use the phrase hunter skinners. Everybody's a hunter and a skinner, and you own your deal for the life cycle of the deal. And that's it could be 12 months, it could be 3 years, it could be 7 years. And you're right, we have some seasoned MDs. A lot of us have worked together for 15 or 20 years. One thing I hope that you picked up and other people pick up, firm's 11 years old, going on 12 years old now. And our success for our first decade was great, but the success for our second decade, we're going to be bringing in a lot of new people, and so that's why we're eager to have you and eager to do fireside chats at Wharton and stuff like that.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. So, some people describe a summer associate position as a 10-week extended interview, and I guess it kind of is. But interviews are a two-way street. So I'm curious. I'd like to invite you. Let's turn the tables. Is there anything that you've been wondering about that you were hoping to ask me and have me explain?
Yeah, definitely. During your fireside chat at Warren, you mentioned employees participating in dynamic equity at the firm.
Yeah, I did.
Can you explain to me how that works?
Yeah. I think it is a point of differentiation with our firm versus some other asset management companies. Before I get into the nitty gritty of that, let me go a little bit big picture. When I was your age to now even, I've always been a huge fan of Goldman Sachs, in particular the Goldman Sachs partnership model, pre-IPO. And I was always astonished at how decade after decade they were able to recruit and retain top tier talent. Call it intergenerational transfer.
Right.
And I'm hoping that OSP has a similar culture. And there was a book. The name of the book was Goldman Sachs Culture of Success. I think the author's name was Lisa Enlick. And there's actually a Harvard Business School case.
Okay.
And both the book and the HBS case study were written when Goldman was in the era of Goldman wrestling with whether they should go public or not. And it wasn't really the IPO part of the case in the book that interested me. It was the how the partnership worked. And the neat thing about Goldman's partnership model that we've adopted into OSP is what we call the dynamic equity. And every 2 years, biennially, O'Brien Staley Partners doubles the number of shares outstanding and held by employees. And what that means is that if you're, a new employee to the firm, you can have a rational expectation and you can look at the calendar and when the equity participation is going to be opened up again. It's every 2 years. It depends on when you join, where you are on that cycle, but it's every 2 years. And if you're a seasoned employee and considering retirement, you have a rational expectation that you won't be cut off immediately, but 2 years after you leave, you'll be 50% diluted. 4 years, another 50%, you're at 25. 2 years after that, 6 years out, you're at 1/8.
Right.
And that's a gradual decline. And people, when they rationally think about, my contribution to the firm 6 years after I've left is probably 1/8 as much as it was when I was active in the firm. And what I really like about it being biennial is that it's discrete, ETE, separate from the bonus evaluation cycle of the annual compensation. And that means you're not getting double counting of, hey, what's the base, what's the bonus, and who's getting the equity, everything being based on the current earnings of the firm. Rather, it's really driving towards franchise creation. And the way we do it at O'Brien Staley Partners is that every member of the firm is on a roster and is considered. Doesn't mean everybody's going to get it, but everybody is considered on the biennial process. And the reason I'm making that point is there are business units and business functions that frequently get overlooked in the equity award for asset management firms. We don't have a mailroom, but if we did have a mailroom, whoever runs the mailroom would be considered. Doesn't mean necessarily he or she would get an award. But go through the other departments. Investment in IT, information technology, absolutely is a franchise creating, and our head of IT is an equity participant. Risk management, absolutely franchise building. Investor relations, absolutely franchise building. Brand management, human resources, and even talent recruiting is leading to the perpetuation of the firm and gets considered in our equity award every 2 years. I hope that put a little more meat on the bone for you on how our equity thing is working.
It does. Jerry, do you mind reminding me of the title of the Goldman Sachs book one more time?
Yeah, sure. The author's name is Lisa Endlich. I think it's Endlich. The title of the book is Goldman Sachs Culture of Success. I actually have an extra copy. I'll give you a copy as you're heading out the door.
I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Speaking of gifts, on behalf of the whole team, it's been a fantastic summer, and I have a going away present for you.
Oh, thank you.
For a great summer associate.
Thank you, Jerry.
Oh, you're very, very welcome.
Thank you, Jerry. I really appreciate this. I'm
you bet,
definitely going to make use of this in Philadelphia.
Yeah, no, West Philly is the right place for it.
Okay.
Good.